Hi, I'm Sean Carruthers, and welcome to How Do I on Butterscotch.com. In this series, we're taking a look at using iOS 5. In this episode, we're going to talk about some of the new features found in iOS 5. Now, iOS 5 is the newest version of the mobile operating system for Apple's mobile devices like the iPad, the iPhone, and the iPod Touch. At a quick glance, you may not notice a lot of new features to the operating system, but they are there, and we're going to show you a few of them right here. One of the things that they have done with iOS 5 is make notifications a lot less intrusive. In the past, when you got an alert, it would pop up on your screen and just sit there until you actually clicked it to make it go away. Now with iOS 5, you have a few different choices, but by default, what's going to happen is they're going to appear in the top corner of your screen, and then they're going to go away. To see all the notifications that you've received but haven't actually looked at yet, you can swipe down from the top of the screen, and this takes you to something called Notification Center. It shows you any alerts that came in, as well as weather, stocks, and a few other bits of information. If your phone is locked, these notifications can also appear on your lock screen, and you do also have the option of interacting with the lock screen. We're going to show you more about notifications in greater detail in an upcoming part of this series. While you're on the lock screen, you can also get quick access to the camera and player controls by double-tapping the Home button. Once you double-tap the Home button, you'll have one-tap access on the screen to your camera or to your music player controls. There are a few other new features as well. One of these is an app called Reminders. This allows you to set up a to-do list with alerts, both time and location based. Again, we're going to show this off in greater detail in an upcoming part of the series. Another thing that you'll see behind the hood is Twitter integration throughout the operating system. So now when you're in another application like Safari, you can click Share and select Tweet to send information about what you're looking at through Twitter. There's the new Newsstand app, which is kind of like iBooks for magazines. There's expanded messaging capabilities via the new iMessage application. You can still text back and forth with your contacts like you could before on the Message application in previous versions of the operating system, but this adds a few extra features like you'd find in iChat on the desktop, allowing you to converse back and forth with your friends and actually see when they're actually typing to you. It also gives you the ability to send photos or video inline. Now with iOS 5, there's also more reliance on the wireless aspect of the devices that you have it on. First of all, there's the integration of iCloud, which is Apple's mobile Me successor and allows you to store a lot of your data inside the cloud instead of on your devices. Because of this, you can easily share content created on one of your devices with all the other devices you actually have attached to your iCloud account. iOS 5 also now includes wireless sync, which means you can sync your iTunes content over Wi-Fi if you're on the same network, instead of requiring you to connect the two devices to your computer using a USB cable. One of the great new features with iOS 5 is that you don't even need a computer to set the device up going forward. If you buy your iOS 5 device new, you don't need to plug it into a computer first. You can actually set it up right from the device itself now. If you're upgrading, you do need the computer to actually get it to iOS 5, but after that point, you can actually do all of your upgrades over the air. Every future upgrade that you make to other versions of the operating system, you don't need your computer involved in that process. Then, once you have everything set up, you can even back up your entire device to iCloud and even restore it from the cloud if you want, again without needing the computer involved. Now there are a number of other new features and tweaks added into the apps you already know, like Photos, Mail, Calendar, and Safari. We're going to talk more about those features in later parts in the series. Lastly, there are a few iPad-specific features like new multi-touch gestures and AirPlay mirroring. Again, we're going to talk more about those in an upcoming episode of this series. Don't forget to check out the other parts in this series at butterscotch.com, and that's also where you can see the show notes for this and the other parts in the series.